This is one of the questions that people ask themselves the most when they are in a relationship. That sometimes is even a very healthy relationship, but they start doubting about the idea of staying in the relationship, and they start questioning their feeling. Maybe they're waiting to feel a certain kind of butterfly in the stomach, or some kind of excitement of and passion, and these things are not there anymore. And this make them think, what if I don't love him anymore? What if I don't love them anymore? But what I want you to invite you to do right now with me is starting to see, where is this question coming from? Is this question coming from a space of peace inside you, or is coming from anxiety? And most of the time we realize this thought is just a thought created by the mind that is agitated, creating anxiety. And in reality, we are not really seeking, our mind is not really seeking for an answer to be sure there is the right person for us. What is the mind doing in this case is trying to feel certainty, to try to feel control. It doesn't like to feel this kind of sense of unknown. But let me ask you this. Is love coming from the mind? Is love something that we can define, that it can be controlled, that it has to answer to all these criteria? Or is love much larger than this? Is love a series of things that the other person has to be in order to love them? Or love is what we really are from the deepest space of our being, and then the mind comes up and saying, I need to have this in order to love the person, and I need to have security, and I need to have certainty, and I need to feel a certain kind of feeling in order to feel like I'm in love. And if I don't feel those feelings, it means that I don't feel love. But love is not just a feeling. Feelings and emotion are constantly changing and moving, and they are the fluctuation of life. But what is always staying behind those things? What is always there when the mind quiet down, like give up, when there's silence coming, when there is no resistance anymore? What is always staying? What is always there? In my case, I discovered the what was always there. It was a peaceful feeling that was asking for nothing. And I didn't need for my partner to be all these things that I thought that I need to have. And all this demand of feeling certain kind of feeling and emotion and passion and excitement was also an addiction to a dopamine that is the condition of our society today. We always want another hit of dopamine, more excitement, more passion. The scrolling social media and the interaction that we have and the toxic relationship, we're always seeking for the next dopamine hit. And living in and experiencing a very healthy relationship didn't give me the same dopamine streak and hit. And so my brain was constantly trying to find it. And what was happening was an awakening to the fact that who I really am is not that character, and I don't need that seek of this intention and intensity, a passion in order to feel alive, because aliveness is what I really am. But I couldn't feel it, I couldn't sense it, I couldn't experience it, just because I was in the mind, just because I was identified to my thought and emotion. I thought I was that character, when in reality who I really was consciousness, was everything, the space between a thought and another one, the space of peace. But I couldn't really experience the space of peace because it was something almost not familiar, because there was so much noise, so much research and resistance to what was there, that I couldn't even really experience the peace that was already there. So when I start dropping the question, when I stop wanting to answer to the question, what if he's not the right person, or do I really love him, and what if I don't love him anymore or never loved him, I dropped to try to find an answer to a question that was asked by the mind, by the agitation of the mind. I recognized the mind, and what happened at the point, the silence started coming back little by little, and a sense of realizing who I really was, and I wasn't my thought and my emotion, start becoming more and more familiar, and in a language that it could speak to us, it was more normal for me to feel like I wasn't a me, and I was way more than my thought and my emotion. And so all the needs and all the demands and all the requests, the need of being seen, validated, loved, feeling certain kind of feelings start dropping little by little. And what is really interesting is also that because I was dropping these things in my relationship, I started experiencing them more without the attachment to have them absolutely. So there was more joy and there was more excitement. There was more magic without me seeking for it, because there was more freedom to be. And when there's more freedom to be, life can circulate to me, my boyfriend, our beings together, and starting to experiencing the beauty of being just present with this being without asking him to be nothing, because my peace can't come from outside. It was the most amazing thing in my life, and this was in every area of my life. I wasn't asking my business to be in a certain way, to give me whatever. I wasn't asking my parents. I wasn't asking to my body, to myself. There is a kind of freedom to know that there's nothing that can be given from the exterior world, from outside, because peace is always there. In the moment I drop the research, I start really feeling it. So what is left when you let the mind quiet, you let the mind be silent? When it's not the crystal ball of snow is not agitating anymore, and the snow start slowly coming to the ground, we can see clearer and better, and with more sense of reality instead of illusion, what is really there. And sometimes, because our nervous system is so agitated, so in alarm, and we are interacting with thoughts, interacting with emotion, and believe them true, we can't really see. We can't really discover our true nature. We can't really see that their relationship is exactly the right relationship that has to be there. And sometimes what happens is that if it's not the relationship that you have to be in, life will move you. God will move you, but it's not coming from the agitation of the mind. It's coming from a place of calm and wisdom. It's not coming from identification of thoughts. It's coming like something that has to be there because it has to be there. So you can relax. You can completely relax and stop asking the question, because the question is asked by an agitated mind, not by the real truth, the real self. Is the mind that want to find control and certainty. What if it was completely okay to feel uncertainty? What if you can feel the sensation in the body and completely let it be there, and it's just a sensation that can be felt? And yes, the mind wants certainty, and want to know, and want to seek. But what if you can let yourself go completely in the feeling, because there is safety in the feeling, because you're always safe. You don't need to know. You don't need to know what's the next step. You don't need to know if you're gonna marry him. You don't need to know. Life knows already, and you can trust that what is there is the only thing that was supposed to be there. So you don't have to answer any question anymore. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please comment, tell me something in the comment below. And we are going to create with my boyfriend, with my fiance, a new program for couple, for women that have anxiety in their relationship, and for men that are in a relationship with an anxious woman and have difficulty to express their emotion and communicate their emotion. So it's going to be an amazing program. I hope you're going to like it. All the information are going to be here down below. Thank you for watching this video, and talk to you soon.